And we are live. Back again with another one. With some smooth, silky background music for your head tops. And in today's live stream, I want to talk about Man City's drubbing of Leeds United. To be completely honest, I never expected that. And I would like to be very respectful during this live stream, okay? I'm high on confidence for my team, City. But I don't want to come here being all disrespectful to other teams and other fans and things like that. So let me just put it out there. I just want to talk. I just want to review the game and just give my thoughts. You see? And just assess what Man City has done so far this season and what they could do for the rest of the season in the grand scheme of things when it comes to winning or not winning this season's Premier League title. So, sit back, relax, enjoy. How's everybody doing? If you're watching a replay, big up to you. Thank you for tuning in. Man City, goddamn. What was my prediction for this one? What was my actual prediction? A 3-1 win. A 3-1 win. I was actually confident that we would win the game. Not by a 7-0 margin though, but 3-1, respectable win, depleted Leeds United. And them boys went out there, I'm telling you, and they made me proud. If you're a City fan, they made us all proud. And we ought to just stand up, and give him a round of applause. Stand up! Round of applause. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff, man. This is the city that I love to watch. Clinical. Deadly. Could have been more clinical if you ask me. This could have been double figures on the day. Could have definitely been double figures. Look. Let's talk about this game, man. Sherwood. The title race could come down to goal difference. Pundit says Man City's 7-0 win over Leeds could prove crucial in deciding who lifts Premier League trophy. Carney. De Bruyne was instrumental to easy win. Guardiola hails phenomenal fans after City go goal crazy. Pep delighted by De Bruyne masterclass. In the other game that was played, Aston Villa defeated Norwich 2-0. Jacob Ramsey, Ollie Watkins, ease Villa past Norwich. Like I predicted they would actually do. My prediction for that other game was a 2-1 to the Villains, but it ended in a 2-0. It's a clean sheet as well. Talk about that game a bit at the end of this one. So, look, man. Let's just talk about this game, man. Look, 7-0. What a thrashing. What a thrashing. Came off of work. I made myself a nice chicken wrap. Poured myself out a nice glass of apple juice, and I sat down and I watched those two games, right? Mainly focusing on the City-Leeds match, of course. And I was entertained. I was delighted. I was truly satisfied with this performance. I have nothing bad to say about this performance whatsoever. Every single player on the day did their thing. And look, City came into the game top of the league, and they would stay top of the league for a third consecutive week. As for Leeds United, they came in about 16th, I think, 15th in the league, about around there. And they continue to struggle this season. Struggle on the field, struggle off the field. And it's been an all-around struggle for Leeds, who had an impressive season last year where they came 9th after being promoted for the first time in almost 2 decades. First thing I want to talk about here is the lineup. The lineup that Pep Guardiola chose to go in with. 7-0. This did not look like a lineup, to be honest, that would dish out 7 goals. Seriously. Because the defense was somewhat makeshift. Edison in goal. They had Ruben Diaz and Laporte playing as center backs. Zinchenko was the left back. And I found it strange that Pep went in with John Stones. Seemed to have been a problem with Kyle Walker last minute. I didn't really get to look into what happened with Kyle Walker. But I was like, okay. But when you really check it out, John Stones didn't really have a lot to do for most part of the game. Maybe towards the second half, towards the end of the game, he did have a few, a little bit of work to do running back there at right back. But he even got into the act of scoring as well, which means that he played mostly halfway mark or up in the final third. That's how dominant City were in this game. You go into the midfield, Rodri. Oh my God, what a game. I think Pep Guardiola may have given Rodri the license to go forward in this match, because what I saw from Rodri today, I haven't really, been seeing this from him quite a lot. And I was so impressed with Rodri. Rodri has been the best I've seen him. And it's this season. I was like, wow. And people like to criticize Rodri from time to time. People like to say, oh, Rodri hasn't really lived up to expectations. He hasn't really done well for Man City. But listen, man, Rodri has a great season so far. He got the goal of the month last month. And I'm telling you, in this game, everything was passing through Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Bernardo in the first half. Gundogan came on in the second half, and that man did his thing. It was a complete performance by Man City. So, in the midfield section here listed, this is what it's listed as, right? Because the players, basically in the profile, they're midfielders and not. Yeah, I don't know why you have it like this, but Grealish, Jack Grealish. This is what we want to see from you on a game-to-game basis. This is what we wanted, and I think that goal he scored would do a whole lot of good for his confidence. That was an exquisite headed goal, and the ball in by Riyad Mahrez. Ah, man, I'm telling you, Bernardo, he could have actually had a better game, but he had a big miss, which was basically, one to definitely remember. Yeah, we're not going to forget about that miss, Bernardo. That was a horrible miss. That was definitely a horrible miss. But City made amends. It didn't really hurt the players and actually affect their psyche. They just went on with their game. De Bruyne, back to the Kevin De Bruyne we know he can be. Passing the ball exquisitely and bagging a brace in the game. Mahrez with a goal. He got a little lucky with that goal, but nevertheless, he deserves it. And I like that Pep actually started Mahrez in this game, because he has not been starting Premier League games. I think Mahrez has about 29% of games he has started this season in the league, which is not good. But Pep has a plan for his players, and I hope everyone is on board. Everyone is with the program, and players are not unsettled because of game time and things like that. But I would like to see Mahrez's participation stat go up a bit. But whereas in the Premier League, he has only participated in 29% in the starting 11. If you go to the Champions League, 6 matches, 100% participation. So you see where Pep's keeping his players happy and trying to keep a healthy balance in the team, right? You see, Mahrez do have 13 appearances in the league, and we just completed 17 matches. So, look, Pep knows what he's doing, and he's managing the players right. Mahrez is 30 years old. I was thinking the other day that we have to start getting, another player lined up, because in the next 2 seasons, Mahrez would pretty much be gone. You see what I'm saying? So we have to start getting used to, Mahrez not being in the 11 all the time. If you understand what exactly I'm saying. So I think he'll leave in 2023, if you ask me. After the World Cup, that summer, I think Mahrez might be leaving. You know, hopefully he'll stick around, but you want to keep things fresh, definitely. Phil Foden, man. Listen, Phil Foden, how good is he, man? How good is he? I just admire the whole Phil Foden story. We take a look at his profile here, guys, and you'll see the stats, right? Look at this. Phil Foden first came on the scene 2016-17. Didn't make any appearances that season, but it's the 100-point season where Pep started to unleash Phil Foden and told him to be patient. Don't be like Jadon Sancho and want to leave the club for, game time and start in time and whatnot. Be patient and the reward would come its way. And that's a life lesson for everyone as well. 2017-18, he made 5 appearances. You see the appearances go up to 13 the following year. He did score a solitary goal, right? And there's, in the brackets, that should be substitute appearances. 5 starts, 5 subs. 13 starts, 10 substitutes appearance and 1 goal. And pretty sure if you go down in the Champions League, there's, you see, all the other competitions, there's a lot of appearances there. You go to the following season, 23 starts, 14 off the bench, almost every game he participated in. You go to the Champions League, you go to the EFL Cup, and there's participation, FA Cup, Phil Foden ever present. You go in the Premier League, right? Go to the Premier League 2020-21. Successful title winning season there. 28 starts. 28 starts. I don't know why it has 11. Well, I think this is total appearances. Pardon me. 28 appearances, 11 as substitutions. I think that is the way it's counted because 28-11 is 39 and that can't work. So you could see the participation going up every year for Phil Foden, right? You could see that. 9 goals. It went from 1, 5, 9, and this season, in only 11 appearances, the man already has 4 goals. You see what I mean? This is amazing stuff. What a player. What a player. Big Philly style Foden, baby. Legend in the making. Could he be a one-club man? Possible. Number 47. Look. Big up to the boy, Obi. Thank you very much there, Obi, dropping the $5 super chat here. Dom, I'm afraid you will go naked in celebration should City win the Champions League. Winning EPL is not enough and you know it. Listen, bro. I know you're a Liverpool fan. It is enough. Trust me. Winning the Champions League is an added bonus. But if we don't win the Champions League, I would like to win the league every single season. Every season. And then the league, the Champions League would come eventually. That's the way I want to look at it. That is the way I want to look at it. You see what I'm saying? Obi, according to Google, Liverpool and Manchester United remains English most successful club. City is not in the conversation. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You're trying to undermine the thing. You're trying to undermine the thing. You can't undermine the thing, bro. You can't. I know. You're trying to undermine the thing, but it's okay. It's okay. Good try. Good try. Good try. You see what I'm saying? Good try. Good try. Good try. So, look, man. Look, it is what it is. Definitely is what it is. Big up to everybody in the chat right now. Thanks for your congratulations and everything. But I just want to talk about this game. And I want to go in depth. I could have done this earlier, but I wanted to go live. And just bring everything up on the screen. Talk about Phil Foden. Talk about Rodri. Talk about the suspended Joao Cancelo, Bernardo, Kevin De Bruyne, Ruben Diaz, Edison, Sterling didn't involve on the day. Grealish, Gundogan. All the boys. Mahrez, Gabriel Jesus. I just love the way Pep's having everybody involved in the proceedings. I just love it. Absolutely love it. So look, Talked about the starting 11 for City. For Leeds United, you got Ilian Meslier in goal, Luke Ayling, Junior Firpo, who would miss the next game. Yellow card accumulation further increases Leeds' woes. Diego Llorente, Jamie Shackleton, who went off injured. That's another man added to the casualty list. Adam Forshaw, who played the Calvin Phillips role, couldn't keep up. Rafinha, it's like Rafinha didn't even play. The Rafinha effect was null and void on the day. The Rafinha effect was null and void on the day. You gotta give it to City. What a dominant performance. Tyler Roberts had a few, good moments, but that would disrupt his momentum as he has performed well in the last 2 games. Stuart Dallas, the hero in the last match, where Leeds defeated City, even though they went down to 10 men. Dallas with 2 strikes, 2 goals, only 2 shots for Leeds the entire game. He scored. Revenge. This is the revenge match. This is the revenge match. We failed to beat Leeds last season. A draw and a loss. Yeah, we're taking it out this year. Jack Harrison, the former Man City player, hardly involved. Maybe towards the end, he had a few runs going forward. And Dan James, the former United man, was taken off at halftime because he was ineffective in the game. You look at the subs for both teams. Nathan Ake came off the bench, scored. Ilkay Gundogan looked good off the bench, picked up an assist, could recall. He did get 1 assist at least. Yep, 2 assists actually. 2 assists for Ilkay Gundogan. And the other man was Fernandinho, just coming, just to freshen things up, give players a rest. Cody Drame came on and he was bullied when that corner goal was scored by Nathan Ake. Matthias Klick came on for the injured. I think that was Jamie Shackleton. Joe Gelhardt came on at halftime for Dan James, and he wasn't effective. Scored in the game against Chelsea, wasn't effective against City. And it just shows you what's going on, right, man? Look at it. Look at what Leeds did against Chelsea. The last game, Leeds, even though they depleted, they looked good against Chelsea. They could have actually get a win or a draw against Chelsea. They shot themselves in the foot. They imploded. All what happened against Chelsea was self-inflicted for Leeds United. And then you come up against City and you get blown away like this. Guys, that's a clear indication what's going on. And if you want to compare Man City and Chelsea right now and the state of both clubs. I know Chelsea won the Champions League against us, but that's a few months ago. You see what I mean? This is a new season. We have to move on from that. It's a new season. We got to stay current. But look, just to talk about the affairs of the game. See the stats, City with 64% possession, Leeds 36. 15 shots on target for Man City. 15 shots on target, 31 shots overall compared to Leeds' 6, 3 on target. The amount of touches in the game, 792 touches for City, 608 passes. Awesome stuff. Passing accuracy up in the 90s as well. Pretty disciplined game. Fouls conceded, 1 yellow card picked up. I think that was Ruben Diaz with that yellow card. 1 offside, 6 corners. It was just a dominant performance by City, man. Dominant. 5th minute, Grealish with a shot forced a save out of Meslier. And a very comical moment came in the 7th minute for Bernardo Silva. Great breakaway by City. Kevin De Bruyne pick out Bernardo in space. And all he needed to do was just side-foot it into the back of the net. He could have even taken a touch and put it in properly with his stronger left foot, but he hit it with his right, and it went wide. I was like, damn, we're not going to have this type of day today, right? But then the goal came just a minute later. Phil Foden, Rodri carrying the ball very well, going in behind, Meslier rushing out, knocking the ball straight to Foden. Foden hitting it at goal, empty goal. Stuart Dallas on the line, failed to clear. He really messed that up. He should have cleared that one, and it ends up in the back of the net. 1-0 for Man City. Another goal came 5 minutes later. Grealish header from Mahrez's deadly cross. It was a second ball that came out, and Mahrez put an exquisite delivery into the box. And Grealish with a well-needed goal, a rare-headed goal for Jack Grealish. Bam! 2-0 for City. I was like, that's it. The game's done. I know the game was pretty much over. You pick up 2 goals in 13 minutes, and Leeds, all they would, they in their mind, they would have to try to come back, and they would leave themselves open. But the thing about Man City is that they never allow Leeds to play. They never allow them to play. At halftime, Leeds only had 1 attempt at goal, 1. So City's good on the ball, very good off the ball, and that's the hallmark of a champion side. How well they play off the ball, not only on the ball, but off the ball. The work rate, closing down players, the pressing is almost second to none. So brilliant start, 2-0. 28th minute, Junior Firpo picked up a yellow card, so he would miss the game against Arsenal. And Leeds are already depleted, which means that maybe one of them youngsters like a Drame, Cody Drame, might have to be brought in. They would have to really be digging into their very already thin reserves. They did have a penalty shot in the 30th minute when Zinchenko was defending the ball. He did hit his hand, but it was outside the box, and VAR got involved. And because it was a VAR review and the penalty wasn't given, they didn't go back and give a free kick for that one. So Leeds couldn't have an opportunity to hit a direct free kick at goal there. So look, 32nd minute, the third goal came. Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri heavily involved again, and Foden laid it off for Rodri, who picked out Kevin De Bruyne, and from a tight angle, hit it with his left, beat Melier, 3-0 to City. I was like, God damn, yeah, baby. Jamie Shackleton, 38th minute, he got taken off injured. And as I mentioned, Leeds already have quite a few players out injured, and that would just further put them in a deeper hole. I'm talking about Calvin Phillips out, Rodrigo, Pascal Struijk, Robin Koch, Patrick Bamford, Liam Cooper. That's 6 players, right? 6 players. 6 players. And if these guys, some of these guys are recovering time for the Arsenal game, they will be without Shackleton, they will be without Firpo. So that's 8. 8 regular first team players out for the Arsenal game. You don't know what that result might end up being. You see what I mean? But it's Arsenal, very unpredictable. But what a first half. What a first half for City, where 3-0, they had 14 shots, 5 on target, 65% of the ball, compared to Leeds, 35%, 1 shot at goal, 1 on target. Dominant performance. Dominant performance. And I'm absolutely loving it. And you guys can't say that I didn't warn you. You can't say I didn't warn you, because I've been talking about this. I've been talking about what City are going to do in December. And people are probably just looking at me and saying to themselves, what is this guy talking about? City ain't going to go on no mad run like that. Guys, this is 7 on the trot right now. 7, right? I think 3 wins in November. And it's already been 3 wins in December, last time I checked. So, what a start to the month. What a start to the month. And I'll have to pull up the schedule and to talk about the games coming up pretty soon. But what we're going to do, we're going to continue touching on these goals. Subs are made at the halftime break. Gelhardt came on for Dan James. Gundogan on for Bernardo Silva. And I think it was a good change, because Bernardo didn't have his best game, but what Pep did is to just share the workload. Gundogan and Bernardo has been playing midfield roles this season, especially Bernardo, because he could play on the wings, he could play as a false 9. And that's the other thing with the false 9 position. It really, and that's why I said before, Pep might not actually go in for a striker during the January window because the false nine role that some of these guys are playing and it's being rotated are actually messing with the minds of these defenders, because when they're trying to hold tight to the false nine and trying to man mark the false nine, then someone else drops into the false nine position and then it leaves the defense all over the place. You see what I'm saying? And that's why Leeds were cut apart so easily on the day, because they just don't know who to keep up with. And if you really take a look at the players in the more advanced regions of the field, it's like any one of these guys could take up that position. Mahrez, De Bruyne, Grealish, Foden, or Bernardo Silva. Any one of them could take up the position. So it's a very difficult team to play against, man. And it's been like that for some time. Very, very difficult. Very difficult to break down. Very difficult to contain. Very hard to stop. So look, the fourth goal came, and that was in the 49th minute. Riyad Mahrez, Gundogan laid off for Mahrez, whose deflected shot ended up in the back of the net of Junior Firpo, and his game couldn't get worse. 4-0 to City. 55th minute, Stuart Dallas did hit the post after Leeds did get a good little sequence in the game. Good cross into the box, dealt with, and then the resulting shot from Stuart Dallas hit the outside of the post. That could have went in. That was one of their best moments of the game. 56 minute sub, Rodri came off, Fernandinho on, and after Rodri had a brilliant game, it was only right. It was only right that he get rested for the game coming up this weekend. Every game is important. And I like that Pep actually took this game serious and put out a relatively good team. It wasn't the strongest team, but it's the mindset of the players who were selected, and when they went out there on the field, they played the game as if they are playing one of the big guns in the Premier League. You see what I mean? And the next game will be against Newcastle, so I think Pep won't approach that one with complacency either. So you rest the players, have them fresh for Newcastle, you go there, you pick up another W, and you keep it moving. You see what I mean? That would be that could be potentially W number 4 for the festive period in December. This is brilliant stuff. This is brilliant stuff. Just sit back and just think about how brilliant City has been. It's ridiculous. Foden did score in the 61st minute, but the goal was chalked offside. He definitely wasn't behind the ball when he got it from Mahrez, but that would have been a brilliant goal if it had stood. But it didn't matter because Kevin De Bruyne pulled off an exquisite goal in the 62nd minute. I was in the kitchen with my wife, and I was telling my wife, I'm like, listen, man, you don't watch football, but, you know, you got to start, man. You got to become a City fan like myself. I need to convert my wife because she's not really into football. But I'm like, you got to join. You got to jump on, man. This is too nice. I want to be celebrating with you. Because that goal, oh my God, I almost lost it, man. Almost lost it. It was an Ilian Melier goal kick. And when I say City work so hard off the ball, I tell you, they work hard off the ball. A goal kick, long goal kick, didn't get to the Leeds United player, but it was some good work done by Jack Grealish. Good work done by Jack Grealish to get the ball back to City. And just the build-up play and the layoff by Ilkay Gundogan to Kevin De Bruyne. And Kevin De Bruyne in a whole lot of space that he did create for himself as well. Give us a signature Kevin De Bruyne shot in the back of the net. That could be contestant for goal of the month for December. I know he's going to have a lot of competition. There's been some good goals already. But that one was exquisite. I wish I could show it on screen, but of course, because of copyright reasons, we can't. But that was brilliant. That was brilliant. I was like, wow. Made me proud. Made me proud. Five 5-0. 5-0. 5-0. And the nothing part is important too because of that clean sheet stat. We need Edison to get more clean sheets so he could also win another Golden Glove. Very, very resolute in defense, very disciplined to keep that clean sheet intact there. Look, it wasn't over. Diaz subbed off, Nathan Ake on. This is very important what Pep did because Ake has not really had the best time so far as a City player because he hasn't been playing consistently. And I haven't really been pleased with his performances, but he's getting better, and that's with confidence. So the baby-faced Nathan Ake, he doesn't have a grain of hair on his face. And I was like, Ake, what's going on there, bro? You're going to remain young forever. He's going to be 35, and he's going to look like he's 18. You see what I'm saying? But he came on, and he did good. He did really good. I could remember him making a good clearance at the back and everything. And he picked up a goal, but not before Jonathan Stones, the Stonewall last season, Stones. Not before he got a goal of his own. So Laporte header was saved by Melier, and then Stones' first shot was saved by Melier. He got another opportunity and put it in brilliantly with his left foot to make it 6. And at that point, that was Leeds' heaviest Premier League defeat in the Premier League era. And that was inflicted by a defender, John Stones. And then 4 minutes later, another goal, Nathan Ake. The corner that came in from Phil Foden, brilliant delivery. And Ake just leaping, towering above everybody to put it in nicely. And the interviewer asked him if he remembered that goal scored in the 80s by Ruud Gullit. It was definitely reminiscent of that goal. And I always think that Nathan Ake looks like Ruud Gullit. You know what I mean? Reincarnated. Let's take a look at him. Take a look at the Ruud Gullit dreads and everything and Nathan Ake. So 7-0. 7th heaven, baby. Couldn't believe it. I know Chelsea dropped 7 on Norwich this season, and Liverpool dropped 7 on Crystal Palace last season. And I know. They're top teams, right? Top teams. Only top teams do things like this. Look, I wanted more. City's best goal haul in the Premier League is an 8-0 drubbing of Watford a few seasons ago. I wanted to give Leeds 10, but the players were having too much fun, and it kind of lost their way towards the end there. Few more opportunities to score, not taken. De Bruyne could have got his hat-trick. Unlucky not to get it, but it was an exquisite game. Back to form for the Belgian, Kevin De Bruyne. What a performance by Manchester City. I wish you could have performances like this every single game, but sometimes it requires you to grind like what we did against Leeds. Wolves. And it just requires you to grind like that draw against Liverpool, you know what I mean? The close win against Chelsea as well. Some games you're going to get a little lucky, like this one, and you're going to score freely, like the one against Manchester United as well, the one against Watford. But you just have to adapt to conditions. You just have to show up on the day, put your best foot forward, and win football games. And that's what City have been doing. Brilliant stuff. So, revenge from the loss last season. Biggest ever loss for Leeds United. Biggest ever loss for Marcelo Bielsa in this professional, unforgiving, and relentless performance by Manchester City. If you're a Leeds fan, you'll be embarrassed. You'll feel down. But hold your head up. Move on. You played a quality team. Quality team. And this win made it 33 wins in 2021, equaling Liverpool's record from the 80s where they did pick up 33 wins for a calendar year. And 7th win on the bounce. There's still 3 more matches left in December where Man City could take that record up to 36 for the entire year and just continue to dominate in English football. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Look, I have to share some a few insights. I want to take a look at some Opta stats as well. But let's just switch tabs really quick. Let's just switch tabs. Big up to everybody watching the stream right now. And if you're watching the replay, appreciate that. Look, let's just switch tabs. And let's just go to this game and just take a look here. Phil Foden's opener was Man City's 500th Premier League goal under Pep Guardiola in just his 207th game in charge. The fastest any manager has seen their sides reach 500 goals in the competition. Previously, Jurgen Klopp, 234 games to do it. So Pep did it 24 games quicker. Brilliant. This was Manchester City's joint second largest ever top flight league win, behind only their 8-0 victory over Watford in September of 2019. 3. Leeds United suffered the joint heaviest defeat in their history as a football league / Premier League club in all competitions, alongside 7-goal defeats to Stoke 8-1 in August of 1934, West Ham 7-0 in November of 1966, and Arsenal 7-0 in September of 1979. It was also the first time boss Marcelo Bielsa had conceded 7 goals in a single match in his 568-game club management career. This is unprecedented stuff. This is brilliant stuff. This is historic stuff. That's why I had to take my time and break this down to you and just talk to you and just give it my time and not really just go in the car and just talk to you like for a little 10 minutes, right? Because this match deserves all the attention. It does. And people like to criticize and say, oh, Dom, you don't talk enough about Manchester City. You don't do this, you don't do that. It's because, you know what, man? I'm just trying to be respectful. To be completely honest, I'm just trying to be respectful. I'm not really trying to rub things in people's faces all the time because we're winning and I'm always going to be talking about City. I did it last season. I pissed off a lot of people. You see what I mean? And I don't want to be disrespectful. But going forward, I will be doing more of these live streams when it comes to the Manchester City games. I will. I definitely will. This is not a Manchester City channel. If you want that, you could check out Esteem Company. You could check out City Extra. You could check out a few other guys. This is not a City channel. I'm a City fan. I make all different type of content. But this title race is heating up. And I will be touching on City's games going forward in terms of standalone live streams. I did that last season. And I would like to do it again. But for your information, if you're watching this, I talk about every single Premier League match. Every match during the live streams. You'll notice. I just choose to clip certain ones because there's an audience. There's not much an audience for the City content, and that's why I don't go heavy in terms of the City content. You feel me? Come on, man. Listen. It's all about business, man. You got to be smart. Definitely got to be smart when you're doing this YouTube thing, man. So, look, 6 different goal scorers, 7 goals to 0. What another thing I want to do, I want to go over to Opta Joe's Twitter account and see if he had anything to say, any stat at all to share with us. All right. We do. 4.8. Man City's 7 goals tonight came from an expected goal of 2.2. The positive difference of 4.8 is the second largest by any side in a single Premier League game since Opta have full expected goals data available from 2010-11 after Southampton versus Sunderland in October 2014, a plus 5.0. Ruthless stuff, man. 31 shots, 7 goals. What else we got here? Leeds United have suffered their joint heaviest defeat. We just talked about that. Opta Joe, you pretty much copy and pasted that from Google, bro. You're getting found out, bro. You copied and paste that one. You copied and paste this one too. Up to, bro. What's going on, Joe? What's up with the copy and pasting? Anyways, look, another copy and paste. But anyways, let's go. Riyad Mahrez is the first player in the Premier League history to score on his 100th appearance for two different sides in the competition, Manchester City and Leicester. Niche. This is why I'm doing this, because I can't cover all the information, so I'm giving you as much information as possible, and I have to call it Joe. Thanks. This is brilliant. Mahrez, you're a legend at both clubs. Leicester for what you did, the unprecedented title, and at City, you came in and you already been doing the goddamn thing. You feel me? Brilliant stuff by the boy Riyad. One of Africa's finest. 20. Since his debut for Man City in September of 2015, Kevin De Bruyne has now scored more Premier League goals from outside the penalty area than any other player. 20. Speciality. Brilliant. 10 and 13. Riyad Mahrez has scored 10 and been directly involved in 13. Let me see. 13, yeah. 10 goals, 3 assists, more goals in all competitions for Manchester City this season than any other teammate. And I was talking about Mahrez earlier, right? The fact that he hasn't been involved in the Premier League play as much as he should, as much as he wants to, but he's been brilliant. 5 goals in the Champions League. He has 3 goals in the Premier League, 2 in the Carabao Cup, 1 assist in the Carabao Cup, 2 in the Premier League, none in the Champions. It's brilliant stuff, right? City's most productive player, you would not have guessed it, is Riyad Mahrez. But everybody's talking about Bernardo. Everybody's talking about Cancelo. Everybody's talking about De Bruyne. Even Gabriel Jesus has been amongst the assists. Raheem Sterling, Jack Grealish. Listen, when you have players contributing like this, wholeheartedly, this team is unstoppable. There's too many players playing at high and optimum levels. Too many players. You blink, City, widen the gap. That's the message for Liverpool. That's the message for Chelsea. You blink, you drop points, City widen the gap. Be careful. 80. Kevin De Bruyne has been directly involved in 80 goals in just 83 Premier League starts at the Etihad Stadium, scoring 30 and assisting 50. Brilliant. 5. In his 50th senior club appearances in all competition, 43 for Aston Villa, 7 for Doncaster, Jacob Ramsey has scored his 5th goal and first netting against Arsenal in October. Talent. The reason why I continue to read this is because I heard through the grapevine that Manchester City are interested in signing Jacob Ramsey of Aston Villa as well. So, look, man, the guy's a talent. That goal he scored was all the way from the halfway mark. He had the ball and ran with the ball. You see what I'm saying? So, he's another talent that City got their eye on. And who knows? Who knows, man? And look, this is an article going all the way back from September. I just want to share this with you really quick before we do some more up to stats. Look at this one. You can just see how on point your boy is right now. Look at this, right? Just look at this. Look at this. Jacob Ramsey. Aston Villa midfielder emerges as Manchester City transfer target. Dean Smith is keen to give Aston Villa's promising youth players a chance this season. There's also another player by the name of Carney Chukwuemeka and his brother Caleb Chukwuemeka, who I think got Premier League. No, not he's been playing well. I'm not gonna misquote anything, but Jacob Ramsey also has a brother as well. You know what I'm saying? I think his brother's name is Aaron Ramsey, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. Aston Villa youngster Jacob Ramsey is reported to be catching the eye of Manchester City. The 19-year-old has made an impressive start to the Premier League season and has commanded a starting role in each of Villa's last 4 league games against Newcastle, Chelsea, Everton, and Manchester United. That means he's trusted by his manager and he's trusted by Steven Gerrard as well. According to Spanish outlet Fichajes, Ramsey has emerged as a potential target for Manchester City, with the reigning English champions keeping a close eye on the Villa midfielder. Ramsey didn't start Villa's opening game of the season against Watford, where Dean Smith's side fell to a 3-2 defeat at Vicarage Road. So that's just a little article here. And there's more. However, the youngster was introduced in the second half and changed the complexion of the game, as his impact allowed Villa to make a late comeback and score twice after Watford ran into a commanding lead. So, pretty much short. Yeah, that's all. That is all that's saying there. But look, I won't be surprised. I really won't be surprised, because City wants the young talent, the best young talent. He's English. Scoop him up. Continue to strengthen. So look, let's go back to the Opta stats here. The Opta stats. 1. Jack Grealish has scored his first ever headed goal in the Premier League and his 17th overall in the competition, right? Second for Manchester City and 15 goals for Aston Villa, collector's item. We did talk about that as well. So look, we got more. 500. Phil Foden has scored Man City's 500th Premier League goal under Pep Guardiola in just his 207 game in charge. The fastest any manager has seen their sides reach the 500 goals. I did touch on that one already, landmark. But how fitting that it's Phil Foden to do it, right? Pretty good stuff. And I think that's about it. That is about it. Bayern Munich did Swiss cheese up Stuttgart on the day. We got more. Riyad Mahrez is making his 100th appearance for Manchester City this evening and will become only the 3rd African player to make 100-plus appearances for 2 different sides in the competition after Kanu and Cheku Kouyaté. Milestones. Legendary stuff there by Riyad Mahrez. Brilliant, 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 man. Look. I did touch on all these stats. I think Opta Joe is taking a lot of these from Google as well. So you see, when I do these in my preview and I talk about these things in my preview, I'm not the only one touching on these things. You see what I mean? But I didn't make them up. And up to Joe, you didn't make everything up either. You might be copy and pasting. I'm figuring you out, you know. Definitely figuring you out. So, big up to everybody in the house right about now. Appreciate the turnout tonight. If you haven't yet liked the video, make sure you do so. We've been live for 48 minutes. God damn. Man City recently drew Sporting CP in the Champions League round of 16 as well. And I think that's a kind draw. Very, very kind draw if you ask me. And look, it could be a pathway into the last 8. We got to win this. We got to win the Champions League this season. As Obi was saying, it will be important if we do win the Champions League. You see what I mean? 2012, Man City will face Sporting CP for the first time since the 2011-12 Europa League last 16, with the Portuguese side winning on away goals back then. Rejoin. Revenge. That's all I got to say. Revenge. Gonna take it out on you. We do have a player there by the name of Pedro Porro as well. So, I don't know if Pedro Porro has a future at City, but we'll see. We shall see. But I'm liking these. I'm really feeling this live stream today, though. Talking about my beloved club. Really, really feeling it. Where I could speak with passion and everything. I don't have to really talk too much about any other team. But, you know, but City. If you want more of this, let me know. Appreciate it. So, guys, if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. Big up to the boy Dupe in the house, man. Big up to FDT in the house. Big up to Jordan Hyman. Big up to Steve as well. Who else we got in here, man? Big up to Liverpool FC, LFC. How are you doing? Everybody who turned out, Wade, Nelson, Palomo, Big up to the boy Robert Robinson. I don't see you in here, but big up to the boy Julian as well. Emmanuel Opoku says that was a statement. Guys, if you have any questions, ask. Feel free to ask. I have one thing left to talk about before we end today's live stream, which is closing in on 1 hour, which would be perfect. I did tell my wife I'm going down here for half hour, but I got into it a little bit more. I didn't think I was gonna go this long, but I did. You say, hey Dom, where do you get the material, man? How you manage to go so long, man? You know, how you manage to do it? But look, let's just take a look at the schedule here and go back to the loss against Crystal Palace. Forget about what happened before that, right? Forget about it. Forget about it. We did beat Burnley. We beat Brighton. We drew to Liverpool, right? We beat Chelsea. Yeah, we did some things. We drew to Southampton. Yeah, we did some things, you know, very inconsistent things there, right? But look at what happened after Crystal Palace. And I've been talking about this. Forget about the loss to RB Leipzig. That was a dead rubber game, right? Look, I spoke about this numerous times. I said that Man City could go on a ridiculous run of about 14 wins on the trot and wrap up the title. Because during that run, more than likely other teams will drop points, right? Competitors in Liverpool, Chelsea, United, Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham, Wolves and co, right? Ever since that wake-up call against Crystal Palace, City brushed aside Bruges as expected. Unexpectedly, in my opinion, walked the game against Man United, brushed aside a struggling Everton 3-0, defeated PSG. That was not expected, in my opinion, because I thought that we were going to come second in the group, but we handled Messi and them guys. Defeated West Ham in a dominant performance during the snow. Aston Villa was a tough game, but we got the better of them. Watford was a walk in the park. Didn't do well against RB Leipzig because, you know, we had already won the group and Pep rotated. No excuses. But that one I call the sacrificial lamb. You know when you're winning, and people start saying, oh, man, I hate this team, man. They just keep winning. You give them an L. It's a funny way to look at it, but you give them an L. You appease the gods, right? You just say, you appease the gods, you appease the demons. You say, here you go. Take one. Take one, all right? Feast on that. But then bouncing back against Wolves. Dominant performance, fortuitous goal, but still nevertheless, some victories are going to come like that. And then the drubbing of Leeds United. What I want to really touch on is the schedule that's coming up, right? The Newcastle game, early Sunday, 9:15 a.m. That's a great time for me as well. I'll be at work, but that's a great time. I hate the afternoon games where I'm leaving work and the games are playing. I hate those. The game against Leicester is an important game, Boxing Day. That's an important game. And I love that the game would be at home. Leicester did smash us at home last season, and we got to get our revenge on Leicester at the Etihad. They really heating up. They got some, you know, good players at the club and everything. Players that I could see joining City in the future as well. Yuri Tillemans could be a good shout for a future City signing. You know what I'm saying? The Newcastle game, I think City's going to win that game. Without a doubt, I think Newcastle's struggling. We should handle Newcastle. The Leicester game would be very tricky. And we should handle Brentford. With no, you know, with all due respect, we should handle Brentford. I know they've been difficult. Got a draw against Liverpool. They beat Arsenal. And they've been good against the tougher teams. We should handle Brentford. And then you talk about Arsenal. Come on. It's, you know, Arsenal against big teams. Atrocious. Swindon Town in the cup should be a pushover. And then we got the important game against Chelsea. They're on the 15th. where we defeated Chelsea already this season. Should get another one. This is a home game this time. Southampton. They drew us the last time. We could get something from that game. We should get something. Brentford again. Norwich. Listen, guys. I'm afraid to say it's a wrap. Listen, I don't want to call this thing. I don't want to call it. I don't want to call the league right now. But I'm just sensing something beautiful coming up in the next few weeks for Manchester City. You see what I mean? Look, the Premier League trophy might just be coming back right here. Let me show you something. Let me just show you something. It might be coming right there. Right there. Any opposition to that, talk to me. Talk to me. Because what I'm doing right now, I'm starting something. You know, Michael Jackson said, want to be starting something? I want to start something here. I want to start something. I want to challenge the rivals. There's any rival fans watching this and you want to come talk to me? You want to come talk to me? Talk to me. Talk to me. Liverpool fans, talk to me. Chelsea fans, talk to me. United fans, talk to me. Let's talk. Let's talk about the league. Let's talk about the league. Let's talk. I'm not cocky. I'm confident. Confident. You gotta have a little ego or people are gonna push you over. Just remember that. So look, as we land the plane right now, I'd like to say thanks to everybody who turned out. And as I said, I do this respectfully. Respect. It's all about respect. Don't want to disrespect no team. Don't want to disrespect no fans. Take it lightly. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm also setting myself up where if we don't go on to do well, you could come back and you could laugh at me. It's all entertainment. It's all good. It's all good fun. But that was a hell of a performance by Manchester City. 7 goals to 0. Wow. Leeds demoralized. Demolished. Guys, like the video if you haven't yet done so. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And from your boy, Dominic Rich. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Rich Squad.